you. And what is our
Doing
topic
great.
for today?
Well, today's topic is truly about how do we start building authentic campaigns that actually convert to clients. And really, I wanted to give an idea for folks about what the actual current landscape is for 2025 and what those marketing shifts are, and how I can really start taking advantage of it, right? Because I got to tell you, the old way of doing marketing in 2020 and 2015 is not working anymore, right? Wouldn't you agree? Spray and pray SEO strategy, building content just for the hell of it. Like that's not going to get any move the needle as much, right? Um, so I definitely we had a webinar just recently that showcased a lot of this, and I'd love to really share it with the audience here too, some of one of those key uh, pieces of wisdom that you could take and use in your campaigns today.
All right. So what ideas do you have on this? What do you think?
Yeah, so really the first thing I want to kind of start off with here is just really talking about what the new marketing landscape looks like, right? So, well, we came to a conclusion after working with numerous different brands and their marketing strategies this year and last year is if you want to win in 2025, your brand marketing must evolve. And yet the static nature of content and how you're getting your website up there and in your brand, you can't just hire a social media manager and hopes to gods that that gets you where you need to be. I've been working with a lot of founders currently, and content is currently seen as an afterthought. And I'm here to say that the brands that do that, they're going to be the ones that are going to be last in terms of discoverability online. Because Google and all of these search engines, they're looking for content that's authentic, helps users, and ultimately is something that can scale. So if you're not providing value into the world through at least content or informative things, it's going to be really hard to break through this diffusion. And now with AI sort of everywhere, it seems like there's more noise than there is signal out there, and that's where the real core of what I'm gonna get in more into today. Um, so real quick, right? Let's talk about the landscape. Video content reigns supreme. 60% of online content is video and audio. You can't ignore video and audio. If you think that, hey, if I don't invest in these things and just focus on creating a blog, that's not going to move the needle as it relates to really getting in front of the right people, right? We now have dynamic social media algorithms, right? Yeah, I think Alex Mosey said it best is like social media is now actually interest media. There's no one
Right.
actually truly going online to be social. We're all just following sort of content. So it makes sense to really actually think about content first in this new age that we're in. The other big thing is that evolution of influencer marketing. These are huge now. The influencing marketing industry is now alive and well, and there are ways for you to actually see some meaningful results by just getting in touch with the right people and letting them shout your name out there. Right? You got AI powered marketing that's sort of ruling the web. So everybody's becoming a copy expert, right? But
Right.
here's the thing, right, Neil? Uh, because everyone's using the same chat GPT to create the copy, we can tell that it's AI generated. I've had like 4 or 5 different personalized email messages this morning, but I could tell it was AI generated just by the voice, the language, how certain the sentence is crafted. So people are now being um, inundated with this new term that I hear, which is AI slop. Right? We've heard of this a little bit, but uh, John Oliver just did a story on it on last week tonight, where AI slop is this diffusion of inauthentic content. You're just putting out content just for the hell of it, and people can't find the real thing. So what does this mean? Authenticity is now the real scarcity. And so that's what the marketing landscape looks like today. Wouldn't you agree, Neil?
Yeah, it totally looks like that because what you see in this marketing landscape is everyone is copying everybody doing the same thing, and there's no differentiation at all in things. And you got to make it differentiate yourself from the rest. Make sure you're not doing the same simple things, static post, blog post, and not creating content that converts.
Right. Yeah, and you just hit it on the head. Content that converts, right? During that webinar, we talked about sort of what's the key to going viral. And the key to going viral is there is no key. There is no magical formula except creating authentic content that is relevant, engaging, and most importantly, you're consistent with it, right? Like your first video is not going to catch the algorithm waves and immediately pop off. I mean, that's what TikTok wants you to believe, but the real truth of the matter is those TikTokers have been creating that content for maybe a number of years, and it wasn't until that one piece of video caught wind of the algorithm that finally took off. So yeah, you hit it on the head. You got to create content that attracts, creates that desire, and ultimately convert. And we've been finding that the best way to do that is short form video content. Isn't
Yeah.
that right, Neil?
Short form video content is the one that's going to get people so immediately to recognize you and then go to your next stuff. So you don't get rid of long form content. Don't
Right.
do this, but you have to add certain components that's going to give a new audience. The short form content is pushed out to audiences that are not your audience. So you're getting a new audience with an opportunity. You could have no followers and get 50 views and 50 eyeballs on your content where no one else will be able to get that content sometimes.
Right. Yeah, yeah. So absolutely pair the short plus the long-term content and then being intentional about that content plan, right? Actually having a team like someone the Neil Haley show to help you out in creating that content machine, right? If we can create a machine, because the real cool thing is like a podcast like this, 15 to 30 minutes gives us what, 8 to 15 different reels, right?
You can get as many as possible.
That's amazing.
You're creative, and then you can create it into other stuff, a blog post still, but also content in your website, a bunch of different things, and then also long form and things to send to your potential clients. Hey, here's some information on this. This podcast will be the best thing for you to listen to.
Yeah.
Well,
And you know what I'm doing now, Neil, that is I think which is ultimately helping changing the way entrepreneurs market themselves is doing a podcast like this. I could film it once, reform and distribute it in several different mediums. So I can take some of my podcast episodes, actually turn that into blogs as opposed to the other way around. Turn and then turn that into blogs, turn that into maybe even ad campaigns, right? Especially for certain topics that we've seen go crazy. We've seen certain topics like the Starlink and the um, uh, deep seek topics sort of blow up just on just engagement, just because how relevant they were at that time, right?
all right.
So
Best place to go very easily is uxbright.com and
absolutely,
schedule a call with Chris today. Appreciate it.
yeah.